Very recently, we checked out a custom wide arch version of the Vulcar Hatcherer R. And, well, we've got another Vulcar to check out today because actually recently, I can't remember when I did this, but I'm pretty sure recently I had a video where I looked at this car and thought, I want to see more tuning with this car. And then, lo and behold, a month or two later, or a few weeks later, we get this. It's, it looks like a standard Vulcar Ingot, but actually this has got loads of tuning parts, so we can make this into a very interesting modified version of the Ingot. Oh, we've got the old... Oh, yeah, sorry, wait, I was supposed to kill... Yeah, I forgot. I knew I had to kill something, but I killed the innocent party there. Oops. Not to worry. That'll solve it. So in today's video, we're going to be checking out and modifying this thing, and I'm feeling like doing it on the army base today. Oh, that was not as smooth as I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to like smoothly just jump and go over the thing and land, and no, that didn't really work. Here we go. We'll imagine it in slow motion. There we go. Look at that. That's an amazing jump, and we land. Ah, how smooth. No damage on the car at all. So we don't need to take a closer look at the base car because it's just a Vulcar Ingot. Why is there always explosions going off at this place? And what I thought I'd do is I'd spawn in a standard one so we can do a nice little comparison. Because if we look at the tuning parts of the standard version, we don't get anything. We just get wheels, drop, that's it. There's no tuning parts for this thing at all. But if we jump into this, which looks like your old standard normal Vulcar Ingot, when you go back to menus customs, you will see that we have spoilers, front bumpers, skirts, exhaust, chassis, hood. We've got lots of options to check out here. And so let's start off with the spoilers. And so actually this is called the VD90R version. There's actually no badging for that. I don't know if we'll get that later on. So let's start off with the spoiler. And we have the stock spoiler, which is nothing. Then we have the VD90R spoiler, and actually this is what this car is supposed to be. This is like the VD90R version, like you would get the T5R version of the Volvo. Although I've got to say, even though this is a Vulcar, I never really think of this as a Volvo. This to me always feels like 90s Japan. It's just got that sort of more of a 90s Japan feel to me than a Swedish estate car, you know what I mean? But we do have the VD90R, which adds a nice little simple spoiler up there. Then we have a bunch of big wings, if you fancy that. Mark 1, Mark 2, which is a rear-mounted spoiler. We have Mark 3, Mark 4, another crazy, massive spoiler. And then we have the Mark 5. They get even crazier each time. This is actually like a mad boot-mounted one. I like that. Because it's like, it's not so sticky-uppy at the back with like a big, massive thing. It's smooth. It goes off of the roofline. Looks really nice. But I mean, ultimately, it looks absolutely ridiculous. So I'm just going to go for the VD90R spoiler on that. Then on the front bumper, we have the options of the stock. We have the removed front plate, which makes a nice difference to the original. That really smooths it up right there. Then we have the secondary stock bumper, and with the plates, this is the secondary color. Wait, does that mean I can get plastic bumper versions? Okay, right, we're going to have to check that out in a minute. Then we also have the secondary stock bumper without the plate. Then we have the VD90R kit, which actually looks quite nice. Nice and simple. Then we have that in a secondary colour. Is that just going to be secondary colour on the splitter, or is that the whole bumper? I really don't know. We're going to have to try this out in a minute, because right now the car is just all black. I just wanted this to look as boring and plain as possible. Also, I do notice this side skirt on the original is a slightly different colour. This is actually all one piece, so that's a nice little fix up there. In fact, actually, this whole thing, wow. Yep, okay, you can really see the original model. Like, just look at the door shapes and just all of this sort of stuff. And then look at this one. This is really cleaned up. This is a really nice cleaned up version of the Vulcar Ingot model just in general. Even if we weren't looking at the modified parts, this is actually a really nice modernization, I think. Because this has got some really strange looking doors that sort of like bulge. They're really weird shaped. Whereas this gets rid of all of it. That's much better. So from that, we have the secondary kit. And we'll check this out again in a second with the different colours. Then we have the Anis styling kit. Again, Anis. That's a Japanese brand. It makes me think Japanese car. You know, like Stagia. Yeah, I really don't think of this as a Volvo. So I'm just going to pretend this is a 90s Japanese car. I'm actually really curious right now because I want to try the secondary stock bumper, and I just want to change the paint colors here. Okay, so actually if we just change this to silver, this whole bottom side is going to be presumably in the secondary color. Yeah, that whole bottom side there, apart from that side skirt there, is a different color. Okay, this looks weird, but I just want to do this just for the sake of so we can see more clearer where the secondary colors are on this. Okay, so starting with the stock again, just to quickly see. Okay, right, so that has that, and then, okay, so that is actually a secondary color anyway, and that just basically just adds a secondary color to that bit at the bottom rather than the plastic. Okay, so it's all technically secondary color. It's only that bottom splitter that changes. Oh, was that like that with the original? I really can't remember. Yes, it was. Yep, apparently it was. I think now that I'm starting to see this, it's starting to come back to me. I just couldn't remember the whole fact that it was two-toned. But yeah, okay. Yeah, my memories are coming back to me because, well, we don't really check this car out that often. So I think then I want to go for like the VD90R kit with the secondary, perhaps. I don't know if we can get matching rear and sides. We'll check that out in a second. Or maybe the full Stadia look. Actually, I'm just going to go for that V90 kit R. Then we have the side skirts. We can have that full matching with a secondary color. Then we also have the VD90R kit, which has that with the badge on the side. We can also have that in a secondary color as well. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for that in the secondary color, and then we'll change it on the front as well. We also have the Anis styling kit. We'll definitely do another build after with that one. So I'm going to go for the secondary VD90R, and then just go back and then just set the secondary VD90R on the front. Then we have the exhaust options, which also seems to change the rear bumper. Okay, that's interesting, seeing those all in one. So we've got this tiny weirdo exhaust. Then we have the slightly larger VD90R exhaust with the stock bumper. Then we also have the secondary color bumper to match everything. Then we have that with the two different exhaust options. We also have the VD90R kit, and that with the secondary option, we're going to go for that to get the full look. Then we also have the Anis style kit, and that with the larger exhaust. I'm just going to go for that one to match with the rest of the kit. Then on the interior, we have the options of some HFS floor mat. Oh, I like that texture. That is nice. Hyper-function suspension. I like that. I guess is that supposed to be like GFB? Is that what it's supposed to be like, HFS GFB? That looks kind of like a GFB logo. I could be wrong. Then we have the, the hood. This is actually going to be, it's a new grille. Right there, the VD90R grille added, so we can make this into a full VD90R build. And then we also have some arch covers, which removes trim. Where does it remove trim from? Oh, okay. Yeah, that cleans up the rear end a little bit more. Yeah, that's all right. And now we should probably pick paints and wheels. So actually, I'm going to do paints first on this one. Now, I'm thinking of actually just going for just a single color thing, because even though we've got all of this option for two-tone, I wanted to just have this single. Actually, now that I think about it, I would really like to have this bit with the option in primary color, so I could just have plastic bumpers and then the rest of it in a normal color. I don't know why, I just really like plastic bumpers. So what is a cool sporty color we could go for? So this is a Vulcar, of course. I guess we can just pretend this is like the T5R. So we'll go for the race yellow, and then I'm just going to set RGB, and then I'm just going to reduce this just to try and make it to that fainter sort of yellow. Actually, we need to increase this, don't we? To try and get the same sort of yellow. Is that still too yellow? Actually, yeah, if we add more blue, it definitely makes it fainter. Yeah, I'm going to say around there. 240, 210, 70. There we go. And there it is, all matching up. Just like the Volvo, it's kind of not. I can't really get that color exact. And then we put the pearlescent to default. Right, let's get some nice wheels. I'm thinking some nice black street wheels on this one. Ooh, I mean, we could go for the Nebula wheels to make this full Vulcar style. I do like that. I do like how the steel wheels look as well. I'm actually going to use that on a build. I might do 3 builds on this one, because there's just many different options we could do with this. But I kind of wanted just to go for something all black and just cool and simple. So it might just be the Endo V3 Custom, and then I'll just make the wheels black. There we go. Now, I don't need to start this because this is going to be like a tuned up version, but we do want to get, because these do look a little bit lost in the arch there, we do want to get these a little bit wider perhaps. Yeah, they're a nice width, I'd say, around now. And I actually kind of want to make them bigger. They look a little bit small in these arches. So let's try and make them a little bigger. There we go. Maybe to fit some larger brakes under them. There we go. And then we'll just go ahead to the track width and just bring those out front and rear. That's actually kind of clipping on that. Now I might actually have to get the height up. So we'll get a nice front, down, rear, up sort of rake going on. There we go. Look at that. That is pretty solid. I like that. I like nose down, rear up style. That is nice. That's just like how my car is in real life. And actually, they are poking a little too much, so I'll bring them in just a little bit. And there we go. That is a full performance thing. Now, how does this sound engine-wise? Oh, it sounds unexciting. Okay, well, in that case, new engine sound. Let's go. I think it's all too easy to just pick the Sultan RS sound, isn't it, really? You can't go wrong with it. It's a tunery sound. I think that's going to work. And actually, one thing I didn't check, has the engine been changed in this? I think this might just be like the stock engine. I don't think anything's changed on this. Because actually, this is very early GTA 5 engine right here. Yeah, not much has changed on that, so we'll just shut that down. But now we've got the full sound going. Oh, man, this looks nice. This looks really nice. I like how this sits, actually. Nice, big, chunky tires. Rear up, front down a little more. Quite close to the arch. That's sitting real nice to me. There we go. Now it's sounding like a proper tuner car. That is good. I like that. That is a solid build right there. Although the colour isn't perfect, I just wanted to try and get that nice T5R inspired build going on. Well, now that we've done this build, it's time to do another couple more. So let's just go. And actually, one thing that I did miss out was the suspension options, because I noticed we do have some extras here. So as I'm building this one, I'm just going to knock this down to each one to see. We do actually get some stance. We do actually get a little bit of camber going on as it gets lower, but it's not crazy. It's not like Rockstar lowering where they just make the wheels look absolutely ridiculous. This actually works. This looks all right. Although I have already added in some V-stancer here, and I have actually made the wheels a little wider. Okay, so for this one, I've just decided to go for the full Anis kit. I went for some bigger wheels, and I basically just tried to get this as close to the arches as I could. That is very close to the arches. I've gone for a little bit of camber on there as well. Some of that camber was added when we slammed the car down with the suspension options. And there we have a slammed down Anis kitted version. And again, this looks solid. This looks really nice. I've got to say that the model looks way better with these doors. Now that I've seen the doors of the original Vulcar Ingot, this looks way better. The other one just looks so stupid. But I've got to say, I really am loving this model right now. I'm absolutely just loving how it looks. The whole like yellow and black thing, just, I don't know, there's something about it I'm loving. But then we have this option as well. And I want to try one more. I just want to try a sort of basic stripped out version. Let's see what we can do. Okay, and as I'm doing this third one, I've realized another thing that I've missed out in the extras. So actually we have extra 1, which is a roof rack, or roof rack bar even. Then we have extra 10, which is the phone holder and the little air freshener. And then extra 11 is another little air freshener there. So we do have a couple of air freshener options. We can get rid of those. But we do actually have these rails as well, which I think is going to suit this build. And so here we are with the third one. And I just wanted to do something a little different. I just wanted to go for what I would say is like the poverty spec slammed look, which is basically just taking an old car and then just putting air ride suspension on it, slamming it down. But I've just gone for like basic stills. I haven't gone for any sort of crazy nice fancy wheel. And I've just tried to keep this with like the same sort of style as the original Vulcar, the Vulcar Ingot, where we have like the two-tone with like the silver and then the black on the bottom. But again, this is just a massive improvement over the original, just because of the fact that we do have a much better model. We can have the options of the secondary color here and on the side, so we don't get that other sort of clashing grey plasticky bit. We can just get that all matching in one color, and I think that looks solid. I think we've got 3 solid different builds right there. I think this mod is great. I'm going to put a link in the description. We can go ahead and check this out. This is definitely the sort of ingot that we should expect from Rockstar, I think. There's a lot of little dots going on. I keep thinking my screen's dirty. It's actually because I've got it in slow motion. There we go. So the stuff flying around that sort of stopped. But yeah, there is definitely a lot of cars inside of GTA, like standard ones that Rockstar have made, where the models are just a little bit crappy looking. But I mean, when you think about it, this game is quite old at this point. So yeah, some stuff does need modernizing. And I think that this does a fantastic job of it. As I said, I'll put a link in the description below where you can go ahead and download this and modify your own versions. Let me know in the comment section below which one of these you think is best. Personally, I'm absolutely loving this one. I think it's amazing with the full build and the car engine sounds and everything. It's the whole package, I think, and I absolutely love it. So I'm going to drive off in this one. This is actually pretty nice, fast, solid. If you have watched all the way to the end of this video, you can say, just say Ingot, just to let me know that you watched the whole thing. But that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.